Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. We back. We back. We made it. We gonna hop straight into it. Um, Probably gonna get back on a little later. Break down the Monday night football games. I got my official like setup and everything, but I ain't want to take no more time away from y'all. Like shit, I'm late getting on here now by a couple minutes. So what I'm gonna do is just pretty much get straight into it. We raw off the bone. No Diddy. We raw and uncut though. Like we get straight to it. So no graphics, none of that right now. Just straight ball talk. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get right up into it. Like I said, that's what we do at One for the Road. Week 2 of the NFL season. Still got 2 more games to go tonight with the Sunday night football. I mean Monday night football. That was last night. That game was so damn petty last night. Got my mind thrown off right now. But yeah, we'll get into that later too. That stinky shit. But um, 2 games tonight. Monday night football. NFL they did the scheduling a little bit differently. They normally do that within the first week of the season. They'll go on there and have 2 games for Monday night. But with all this Brazil game and Antarctica game and everybody else getting these international situations, they switch it back, which I don't mind it because it give us better matchups. Normally, them 2 Monday night football games was normally trash matchups because it'd be a East Coast team so they can get a jump on that early start, and then the West Coast team so that delayed start can be pushed back to kind of like offset the times. But yeah, we've got a good matchup tonight. Buccaneers and the Texans. And then we got the Chargers and the Raiders. That's an old-fashioned rivalry. So we're gonna see what they got going on with that. It should be a lot of action out there on the field today. Since we talking about the game right away, I wasn't gonna start here, but since I'm on the topic now, we just gonna go with it. We got the Bucks coming off a nail-biting win in Week 1 over Atlanta Falcons, and then we had the Texans. They suffered a struggling loss to the Rams. Offense was pretty much stagnant. Couldn't move the ball like that. At the end of the game, they was going in to score to potentially win the game, and Ogumbawale, um, what the girl playing on Dallas Stars? Enrique brother. Ain't that's kind of messed up that I'm referring to this dude as Enrique brother, but yeah, he fumbled the ball with the game on the line. No disrespect to him. Dare Ogubawale. Yeah, he fumbled the ball going in potentially for Houston to score. They end up losing that game and didn't fare well for them. So now they get a chance to try to run it back today and see what they do versus Tampa. So we're gonna see. Been a lot of talk about like CJ Stroud struggling in his sophomore season, and then it didn't make it no better coming into the game last week. You know they're gonna run with that narrative, but getting your team to the playoffs, winning your division, winning a playoff game, I can't really see that as struggling for real. Like it wasn't the same as his first season, but his old line wasn't the same. They got progressively worse, even though that don't seem that likely because they was already terrible. But it's just a work in progress. The receivers are young. They got 2 young receivers out there. They trying a new back out there. It's just a lot of change. The only consistency within that program since he been there is CJ within the last couple of years. Besides him and D'Amico Ryans, but I'm not reading too much into that. CJ got time. I would say they division is normally not that good, so they will have some time to try to get their footing. But Indiana Jones, I'm gonna say it again, Indiana Jones, he doing a number down there Indianapolis right now. Got them boys 2-0, so they don't want to start off 1-2 because although I don't think the coach rang on last, we'll get into that a little bit later when I go over my grade 8. But I just don't see it. But nonetheless, you don't want to go down on 2. So we're going to see how they come out, what they looking like today, see if they can move the ball. Defense got pass rushers, elite secondary. They didn't give up a lot of points last week, so we'll see what they do this week versus Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks. That rookie out of Ohio State, that boy looked like a 5-year veteran last week. Seemed like they put I don't want to mess his name up, but that jit nice though. He came out the gate, two of them back to back touchdowns, won a game for him. To add that to a receiver core with Chris Godwin, you know what Mike Evans about, and the way Baker been throwing the ball, they got a chance to win that division. I want to say about the third year in a row now. So we'll see how that thing shake out for them. But them boys, they've been pretty solid. You know, Tall Bowles, one thing he gonna do is blitz some. That boy gonna blitz some for sure. So they gonna get pressure on the quarterback, and they're gonna be a tough matchup for most teams on any given night. I ain't gonna say Sunday because it ain't Sunday, but no, yeah, definitely looking forward to that matchup and seeing like what the Bucks do for the rest of the season. But we got that kicking off for the 6 o'clock game, and then on the West Coast at the 9 o'clock, we got the Chargers and the Raiders playing. That boy Geno, Pete Carroll, Brock Bowers. Shit, they got Michael Mayer too, couple good tight ends. Jacoby Myers, Tucker getting deep, Lit Tucker, Ashton Genty. So they started off hot last week, got a dub. A lot of people didn't see them be in New England, but they definitely pulled that out. Got that done in last week. So Raiders coming into the matchup looking pretty good. And then on the other hand, you got the Chargers and that Jim Harbaugh. He coming into that matchup ready to do something back in the league, back to prove something. Second year in, got them boys to the playoffs last year. They did pretty decently, so we'll see. They took care of Kansas City last week. One thing I ain't like though is that that Justin Herbert trying to downplay. He was trying to downplay that situation last week. Boy, that was the biggest win of your career, for sure. That was the biggest win of his career. So I never like it. I mean, I get it's week 1 of the regular season, but you don't got to be robotic. We know you was geeked up to beat them boys. Anybody would have been. It's the human thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all boys got to win. So we'll see what they look like coming into tonight, and then the rest of the season going forward. But Justin Herbert, this not like a make or break year. Like they gonna get rid of him. They ain't gonna get rid of him. But as far as how he viewed in a lot of people's eyes, this gonna be a make or break year for him this year. Yeah, how he viewed in a lot of people's eyes. You got guys like Achos of the world calling him the social media quarterback. So, I mean, he ain't really paying no much attention to it for real, but it's just things that's being said, you know. He got all the tools, rocket arm, 6'5", 6'6". He can run the ball like his legs was a big factor in them winning last week versus Kansas City. He ran them boys to a victory. So we'll see what they come back with tonight. I think the Chargers cut out a good spot for themselves in the AFC going forward, just based on how they built their team and then just the overall outlook of the land, the layout of the land pretty much in the AFC. They're a team a lot of people are expecting at least make it to the playoffs. So we're going to keep our eyes out on the Chargers and see what they do. Personally, I really don't know. They're a cool team, yeah, for sure. You got a quarterback, you got a chance. You got a good coach, you got a chance. But we just got to keep seeing them taking steps. We just got to see them taking steps because that playoff loss going to be in a lot of people's minds. I mean, how they looked versus Jacksonville a couple years ago, and then to follow it up again, how they looked last year. So, he ain't on the high seat for sure, but we just want to see more from him. A guy that's that talented, we want to see a little bit more from him. But we'll see what he do going forward and tonight. So let's get into some of the activity that went on yesterday. I just want to get right into that Monday Night Football because I know it's a hot pressing topic that's going to be out there tonight. So I want to get into that right away. But yeah, we just going to rip the Band-Aid off of that Joe Burrows. It is what it is. He got a little toe jam going on. They say he'll be out about 3 months. That turf toe never no good. Not making light of his situation. That's just where I'm from. What we call turf toes, toe jam. He got a little toe jam injury, so I think toe jam will be like a better word for it, because I feel like when people hear turf toe, they automatically equate to, oh, it ain't that serious. His toe aching. He should be able to play. Yeah, okay. Take one of your fingers off your hand and see how good you're able to move around and perform at anything. Let alone, you feel me, take one toe off your foot, because essentially you down the toe. Come on, man, stop. It is what it is. He hurt. Um, it's a lot of different variables, a lot of different reasons why it could be the case. They O-line haven't been the best. You could say they tried to allocate resources to it, draft picks, signing guys, free agencies, trades. Just about any way you can acquire an offensive lineman. They have done that over the last couple seasons, but they just haven't been able to really put it all together for real. Um, it's tough when you got a talent like Joe Burrow out there playing, because you know what he's giving you on a game-to-game basis. Since he's been in the league for the most part, he's been most likely consistent in performing, so you can't take that away from him. But the guy's getting hurt. I don't want to label him injury prone, because year to year things is just different. But um, it suck as a fan of the game, because you know that's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So you want to see him perform and see what the top guys in the AFC look like at the end of the season, battling it out to see who will ultimately represent the AFC in the bowl. But yeah, that's a blow, no diddy, to the whole city of Cincinnati. Honestly, like that got to be that's tough. They got to win yesterday though, so they 2-0. So Jake Browning came in between him and Trevor Lawrence. I ain't know who wanted to win or get that game away. It's something. I mean, he got it done. He threw some touchdowns. He threw a couple picks also. You come into the game when he had about 2-3 picks off the bench. But that takes some. He was chunking it for sure. You come off the bench with a couple pepperoni pieces, that we call them picks, couple pepperoni pieces. But I mean, hey, they got the job done. They got the win. They used to him playing in mop-up duty. He used to playing with them guys in mop-up duty, so it shouldn't really be too much of a challenge or a thing for him. You know what I mean? They should be able to play some games, win some games, rather. I don't expect nothing crazy out of them, but I don't know. We seen crazier stuff happen. Been a lot of like discussion. Should they trade for a quarterback, Jameis Winston? No, I don't think so. I mean, realistically, it's only 2 weeks in, but in my eyes, Burrow give you their best estimation of trying to get that together. See, this my first one, so bear with that. Supposed to be hopping back on later, most likely. With the setup, everything would be cool. But like I said, I ain't want to break no time. I'm just getting right into it for right now. But was it football or not? Yeah, for sure. It's always football. That's what we talking about. There's always gonna be some football. And in the comment section reading what they said. But yeah, no. I honestly would look at it as not a lost season, because anytime you're out there playing ball, it ain't a total loss, but a season where they could try to recoup. I mean, you paying between the two receivers and the quarterback They're getting a pretty penny. That's most of your cap right there. So I honestly wouldn't be opposed to them. I'm not gonna say full out tank, but I mean your quarterback out. I don't know. It ain't too often you go 11-5 with Matt Castle. I mean, even that year the Patriots ain't make the playoffs. They still, I bet you, they wish they probably lost a little bit less games so they got a better draft pick. I mean, if you're gonna go 11-5 and not make the playoffs, granted you got the greatest quarterback to touch the ball coming back, and Tom Brady the next season, but still, it's like, yeah, I see it as a situation. Just take your lumps this year, and I don't think they traded away they first. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they will have a first coming up this year, and then try to take the best person available. I want the fullbacks back. Passing is so lame. I mean, yeah, quick is. I feel like the way I was always taught, defense and running the ball wins championships. That's why the play around the league is down across like the beginning of the season and just like in general, kind of over the last couple of years, the offensive output has been down, but that's because they throw the ball too much. For instance, last night, Bijan Robinson was running the laces off the ball. He was running the paint off the ball last night. It's just refreshing to see a running back just look fluent out there playing, getting in his cuts, pressing the line of scrimmage, finding a hole, slow playing it, cutting back. He's a classic. He's a classic back. Catch the ball out the backfield, pick up in pass protection. Yeah, I would definitely want to see the more of a running game come back to the league, but it's trendy, it's up and down. But yeah, as far as Cincinnati go though, I don't know. Well, personally, I do know where they go this season. Like I said, they take their lumps and try to get them a draft pick and help their prospects down the line. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see with that. First episode, I was him being on the line this season and trying to determine whether where's his rank, where do he fall in line within the guys, the hierarchy as NFL quarterbacks right now for sure top 5, but outside of that Super Bowl appearance, which was a great thing for him and the city and their situation, their franchise, but we years removed past that now because I don't know how the season going to end out, but this would be a couple years in a row without making the playoffs. It's time now we got to retire that Super Bowl appearance. Like in the grand scheme of his resume, it's there, but it's like for him to be a top quarterback in the league because he made it to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, that's pretty much expired. Like I said, what he did on the field last year, he was great. Like he was amazing. Put up all the numbers. It didn't translate to a lot of winning, but you can't take away what he had that season. So he was definitely one of the top quarterbacks last year. He wasn't the best, but he was a top quarterback last year. So going forward, like he gonna be in the conversations just when you got like it was preseason list coming out, and you got guys like Mad Dog Russo pounding the table for Burrow to be higher on a certain list before the season starting. It's just like they didn't make the playoffs. It looked like another year without making the playoffs. The year before he was hurt, didn't make the playoffs. So that's why I was just like, I don't know. I don't wish no bad on nobody. You know what I mean? Everybody, you want to see everybody do good, but Burrow gotta stay healthy, man. He gotta stay healthy, and they gotta win some ball games because he got the talent. We just gotta want to see him put it together. What I'm gonna do now is get into the grade 8. That's my power rankings week to week based on the top 8 teams in the league. I ain't gonna give y'all a whole 32. I mean, I don't have time for that. It don't even matter. 32 teams not in contention to win the Super Bowl. 32 teams not even making the playoffs. I'm just gonna get straight into the list. At the 8th spot, I'm gonna put Detroit Lions. Detroit, you talk about B2A, Anna. They put more than belt to the Bears' ass yesterday. They had the belt, the shoe, the goddamn extension cord, a switch. whatever apparatus that's used to whoop something, them boys whoop something for sure. So we coming off the loss to the Packers last week, it's kind of down on them, to be honest, because there's a lot of people like, oh, without Ben Johnson, they don't look the same. You know, they might be, they struggle. I mean, they got whooped by the Packers. It is what it is. We call it like we see it over here at One for the Road. Them boys got whooped. But then they came back yesterday and whooped some. So we gonna put them up there for right now. They taking an A spot. Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts and Indiana Jones at number 7. Like I said, do I think it's gonna last? Nah, but that ain't what we talking about right now. We just talking about in terms of after 2 weeks of the season, who do I feel like are the top 8 teams in the league? So I'm gonna go with the Colts. They turning the ball over, they scoring at a tremendous clip. Them boys have not punted, I don't think. I don't think they punted in 2 games. Or if they did, they only punted once or haven't punted at all. Shane Steichen got a great system. We've seen him with the Eagles, his development with Jalen Hurts. And he got Indiana Jones over there getting to that bag. They paid him to come in. He taking care of what he had to take care of through 2 weeks. We ain't going to get too high and too low on him, but we for sure got to give them credit where credit is due. They did what they had to. Them boys, they was active. They 2-0 right now. They got the mascot out there doing his shit, whatever that thing he be doing. They got the mascot out there getting active. So, yeah, we'll give it to him. Colts at 7. 6, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. No. Sorry about that. 6, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. 0-2, yeah. But, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. Both games they lost, they was right there. And until he the boogeyman, so until somebody put him out his misery, for sure, they always going to be in that top part of any rankings list because we know what they're capable of. Yes, they 0-2, but in their 2 losses, they look better than 90% of the league. A lot is being made of their explosive ability and X, Y, and Z, able to create the big play down the field. But again, if you watch the first 2 games, they was in both of them games and could have won either one. Mind you, they got two of their best 2 receivers is out. They're gonna be back. Veach always make a trade or pick somebody up off the scrap heap, turn them into something. So once they get some of that Kansas City water and barbecue in them, they do something. So the Chiefs, they're gonna take that 6 spot. Last week I had them top 4, top 5, but not this week because they 0-2. Like I said, they still look great. If Travis Kelce don't drop that jam going over the middle, I don't know, they might win that game. It's about time for him to go be a family man too. He doing good in this podcast space and all this and that, but I ain't trying to be controversial when I say that, but yeah, it's about time for Travis Kelce to go be a family man. It ain't nothing wrong with that. He had a hell of a career, but 2 weeks in a row, he cost his team. You friendly fire, got your man's Worthy out a month or 2, shoulder case. Then he dropping the ball yesterday. He all the sideline antics and all this and that. You live with it. You've been living with it his whole career, so you can't really do nothing about it now. But it's just certain production that's starting to tail off. It's just, I don't know, man. We want to remember you for what you was. So you might want to go be a family man coming up soon. Like I said, no disrespect to him, just based on what I'm seeing on the field, his play is declining. But the Chiefs still gonna be there in the end. Based on the history that we got, the data, the facts, they always been there. So we got to give them that. Packers, get Packers that 5th spot. They have looked good over the first 2 games. My concern with them is honestly just Jordan Love and those young pass catchers. It was a big deal about Marcus Golden coming in. He hasn't really did nothing so far. Haven't really been getting the ball, but are they gonna be able to utilize him the right way? Jaden Reed broke collarbone. They got guys, Wicks, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Dobbs, Malik Heath, like they just bringing guys out of thin air at this point. Between them and the Steelers, they do a pretty solid job. Christian Watson be coming back too. They do a solid job of drafting receivers. So it's pretty much honestly gonna boil down to what Jordan Love do. Parsons been looking good. That's what he always do the first half of the season before he fall off. So at the beginning of the season, I'm expecting Green Bay to rock out, but I just don't trust him long term. We talk about right now, but I just want to get into this part of it. Parsons started off the season at a very fast, productive, pass rushing, disruptive rate. But then he get to doing plateauing, and by that end, boy, look here. He going to do one of them on you. I know because I've been seeing it the last 4 years. Playoff games, he haven't done nothing. One career playoff sack versus the year Tom Brady was on getting his last year off. So yeah, I don't see it long term. I got him at about 10 wins, 7 wins, but we ain't talking about that right now. I just wanted to get my 2 cents to pump the brakes on them a little bit too, because I don't think they're gonna do as much as everybody projecting down the line. Chargers. We got the Chargers next. Right now, they kind of in a limbo spot because they haven't played, but coming off beating the Chiefs. We're going to put them at the 4th spot. Herbert looked good. Their system looked good. It seemed like every camp, every offseason, you see that boy Quentin Johnson dropping the ball. Then as soon as the season starts, all he do is catch damn touchdowns. So between that, Omari and Hampton looked all right, toting the ball last game. They got some guys, some nasty individuals on that defense, for sure. They got a couple of them over there. Florida State got Derwin James, Henley, I think what they call him. A backer number 0. I can't call his name, but he's a damn good player. D-line, they got. Come on, they got guys, man. They got pieces you can put in and out. Khalil Mack still getting it done. They got JT out of, I want to say JT Tuatal. I ain't going to do it. Y'all know what I meant by that, though. No disrespect to the guy, but yeah, damn good player. That's why I mentioned him right now. But they got him. 3, this might get a little tricky right now, but we got to do it. I got Buffalo right there at 3. They squeaked past Baltimore in the first week. To be honest, the Ravens gave that game away. But it was a hell of a comeback. They showed a lot out of Buffalo. We know they're going to be there at the end. Good team. Did a number on the Jets yesterday. The box score looked a little deceiving because the score was so wide. Justin Fields got hurt, but James Cook went off. I feel like he never get enough credit that he deserved. Hell of a ball player. Josh is Josh. He's good. Like, come on. Coming off the MVP. Did something yesterday. He ain't have his best game, but they won the game. That's all that matter. But that's why I bumped them off. Last week they was number 1, but I switched them down to number 3 because I think the 2 teams in front of them had better performances this weekend. Eagles. Thing about the Eagles is they getting it done right now. It don't got to be pretty. It don't got to have sprinkles on there. It just got to be a complete job. It's like pass or fail. This league is pass fail. This life is pass fail. And they've been passing. Coming off a bowl, 2-0 start. Took care of some quality opponents. Well, I don't know how quality the Cowboys is yet. We're going to see. They are right. But we're going to see what they ultimately do. But it's still a tough game. Emotion, division opponent. There was a lot of turmoil. Your best player got kicked out. It was a delay. Overcame some adversity, but they won. So I'm liking what the Eagles doing. Like they outlook going forward. They just got to win games. I don't really care how it look as long as you win. You don't get style points in college football where you need a resume to get into the playoffs. No, you just got to win or lose. And then at the number 1 spot, Baltimore, 40 points, back-to-back weeks. They look like the best team in the league to me. Everybody pretty much media-based. I mean, outside of certain cities, people down the line pretty much in agreement that Baltimore, they, as far as roster and preseason projection, they like the best team in the league. 40 back-to-back weeks. Offense look efficient back-to-back weeks. They choked that game off last week. I want to say something else, but we're gonna keep it clean as I can. They choked that game off last week for sure. But we just at the ends, just like Eagles, just like Buffalo, just like Kansas City, they established right now are the top 3-4 teams in the league. So we go through the motions with them in the regular season. Then we want to see what they do by the playoffs. But yeah, impressive victory, clean game for Lamar. Seemed like every other game, he just throwing for 4 touchdowns, clean game, no pick, win by a couple scores. Like, it's easy to get. I see why the criticism of him is what it is, because he's that good of a player. It's like he really just going through the motions, autopilot during the regular season, because it's just remarkable. He up to the highest passer rate in NFL history right now. So we really looking at one of the all-time greats at the position. I don't want that to go understated. He got to win the championship, but we ain't talking about that right now. It's just the power rankings of the top 8 teams this week. So we leave that for later down the line. But yeah, they look good. Defense was better this week. And we got them leading off at the number 1 spot. So a couple more topics, then we off. I want to get into this Jaguars dust up, or just in general what they got going on. But the dust up between the coach Lynn Cohen, Trevor Lawrence. It's like, I feel a new coach coming in. He want to establish his culture, X, Y, and Z. But showing up your player during the game, it's like young coaches, new coaches, they always feel like they got something to prove. It ain't always about that. You're not like it's during the game. You can learn and grow from that. That's what you got film study for, brother. Right there on that spot, you challenge that man and make him look like that. He never, like, that relationship is fractured going forward. I don't care what nobody say. Like I said, I ain't played no league, but I played enough football in my life to know I've seen these type of situations. I've been in them type of situations. I've seen them play out a million times over. Watching the game, even to this day, like I said, I've seen these situations play out a million times over. When the coach do that, challenge a player like that, specifically a quarterback, I wouldn't call it fragile, but just their makeup in general and how, he's cashed out, bro. Will they be able to work together? Yeah, but he ain't gonna look at him the same. Like, he not gonna, no. And it's crazy, there's only 2 games in, and that's already. You got Travis Hunter flip-flopping offense, defense. It's a side show to me, like, because he ain't necessarily performing at a high enough level at one to warrant him doing both at the same time. It's just like being a switch hitter in baseball. If you batting $1.98 from the left side and fucking .87 from the right, these are drastic numbers. But still, if you batting 189 from the right side and goddamn 202 from the left side, you don't really need to be a switch hitter, my boy. Like, it don't really, you got to focus on one. Lock in with your best side. I feel like that's what they got to do with Travis Hunter. It's cool to have him doing all that, but I just don't think it's productive, because through 2 games, I mean, it's only 2 games, but he just haven't looked, I don't know. Personally, I don't like it. That's not like just on some, hey, no, in the perfect world, like, I want to see him snap and do what he got to do, but I just don't think it's a productive situation to have him playing like at a turn like that on both sides. But that's their franchise, that's their decision to make. From my standpoint, they ain't making good decisions between that and then the coach feel like he can challenge his player on us, because they should have won that game easy. When you consider the turnovers and then the other team starting quarterback, Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, going out, and then the backup came in and turned it over to you. So you had chances, but I'm not saying that little rift caused that, but you never know. It could be. You literally never know. Just stuff like that can affect you going through the rest of the season. So We gonna check back in on that Jacksonville situation, but week 2, I'm putting some eyes on that now. One for the road. We gonna circle back to that one. That's what I'm gonna drop them little nuggets throughout this time, and we gonna circle back to certain things. Again, I'll put it out if I do end up coming back on later for a stream. After the games, probably to do a slick little breakdown, get everything going as far as the setup, and get like a little bit more professional with it. But like I said, I watch it back, see how it go. But yeah, Monday recaps. Every Monday we gonna come give it to you. No diddy. Between 4:30 Eastern, before kickoff. We gonna run up until before kickoff. We gonna try to make our hay before kickoff. So evening before the kickoff, that's how we're gonna do it for these One for the Roads Monday night weekly recaps. Get your juices flowing before the Monday night football game. We get the timed up a little better. Try to lead off into a pre-kickoff. You go through your routines, do your little kickoff shows. So we want to run for the road to get to you first before you get contaminated by the other stuff. But we gonna end y'all off with a parlay for these Monday night football matchups. We going touchdowns. Now I ain't did no odds and all that stuff calculator right now. Graphic, like I said, I want to just get right on there and give it to you. No did. To start off, next time we come, we have graphics, we have all this other stuff, but here, like we said, the first one's always going to be uncut. We get straight to it. Over here, One for the road because we real ones. But on our parlay tonight, we going TDs, touchdowns. We going to go Brock Bowers for an anytime touchdown. We're going to go Bucky Irvin for an anytime touchdown. We're going to go Nico Collins for an anytime touchdown. And then we're going to tie the bow with Omarion Hampton for the anytime touchdown. So we got a little simple 4-legged checker on there. And we're going to see what's to it. But like I said, One for the road. We're going to sign off. We be back. Either way it go. On Mondays, we're going to have a weekly recap for them NFLs to get you ready for Monday Night Football. But whatever you do, do it well. Take it easy. One for the road. We out of there.